Hi everybody, welcome to Selection IAS. Today I am going to teach you the second part of the Mughal Empire, in which we are going to cover basically the art and architecture, cultural development, economy and administrative system of the Mughals, which is even more important than the political history. So let's get started. All these are beautiful examples of architecture of Mughal Empire that we will discuss later on. So the very first topic is economic and social life during the Mughal Empire. See, during this period, many European travelers and traders came to India. They described the wealth and prosperity of India and also the luxurious life of the aristocratic classes. On the other side, they also mentioned the poverty and sufferings of the ordinary people such as peasants and artisans. Okay, so that's a very basic thing. Second, let's know something about the Mughal nobility. The nobles of the Mughal period, most of them were foreigners such as Turks and Afghans. However, many of them settled down in India and made it their permanent home. But especially from the time of Akbar, the Hindus, particularly the Rajputs, were included in the nobility class. Later, the Maratha also joined the Mughal service and rose to the position of nobles. The nobles tried to follow the luxurious lifestyle of the Mughal emperors. Also, some foreign accounts, they mention about the rural masses, the conditions of rural India that time. While the wealthy people wore silk and cotton cloths, the poor people wore the minimum clothes. Nikitin, one of the foreign travelers, observed that the people of Deccan were barefooted. Rice, millets, and pulses were the staple food of the common people, while ghee and oil were cheaper, but salt and sugar were most expensive. Okay, they were more expensive than the ghee and oil. Well, next is about agriculture. So, during the Mughal Empire, the population of India was around 125 million. This is almost equal to 12 crore and 50 lakh people. This was the population of India that time. As plenty of land was available for cultivation, so agriculture was prosperous. During the 17th century, two new crops, namely tobacco and maize, were added. Remember, this was the time when we saw the coming of Europeans in India, right? Those Portuguese, British people, Dutch. Potato and red chilies came later in the 18th century, but no new agricultural technique was introduced during this period. However, India was able to export food items like rice and sugar to the neighboring countries. Let's discuss about the growth of trade during the Mughal Empire. Number one, trades were well organized and highly professional. Seth, Bohra traders specialized in long distance trade, while local traders were called Banik. Now, please focus on the keywords. Okay, on this keyword Banjaras. There was a direct question on Banjaras in 2017 prelims examination. Okay, so remember this part. Seth and Bohra, they were traders specialized in long distance trade, but Banik was local traders. Okay, another class of traders was Banjaras, who specialized in carrying bulk goods. The Banjaras used to move to long distances with their goods on the back of oxen. The trading community did not belong to one caste or religion, right? We cannot say, okay, these trading communities are belonging to any particular caste or any particular religion. How? Let's say. See, the Gujarati merchants included the Hindus, Jains, and Muslims. In Rajasthan, Oswals, Maheshwaris, and Agarwals, they came to be called Marwadis. Okay. Multanis, Khatris, and Afghanis conducted trade with the Central Asia. Okay, so you can see the diversity among these trading community. In South India, the Chettis on Coromandel coast, the eastern side of the peninsular India, and the Muslim merchants of Malabar, the western side from Kerala side, were the most important trading communities. Okay. Now we should have a basic idea regarding the goods which were exported and goods which were imported during the Mughal Empire. Okay, so basically sugar, rice, muslin, and silk. Okay, indigo and food grains, including shawls and carpets. These are items of export. These were items of exports. Okay, apart from this, the Bengal exported sugar and rice plus muslin and silk. The Coromandel coast became a center of textile production. Textile, remember this. And Gujarat was an entry point of foreign goods. Okay. Now, when we talk about items of imports, these were mainly metals such as tin, copper. Apart from this, war horses, luxury items like ivory, hathinath, and gold and silver. So these were main items of imports. Now we are going to discuss in detail about the cultural development under the Mughal Empire. Okay, so please focus on this part because UPSC is more interested in the art and architecture part and the cultural contribution by Mughals. Okay, so let's do a constructive analysis. It was manifest in the sphere of the art and architecture, painting, music, and literature. In this cultural development, Indian traditions were blended with Turco-Iranian culture. Okay, Indian traditions was blended with Turco-Iranian culture. Okay, Turco from Turkish culture and Iranian Persian culture, which was brought into India by the Mughals only. So let's do an analysis on art and architecture part. The architecture of the Mughals includes the magnificent forts, palaces, public buildings, mosques, and mausoleums. Yeah, so let's discuss one by one. The Mughals were very fond of laying gardens with running water. Okay, this is also known as Char Bagh system. Char Bagh system. Okay, so some of the Mughal gardens, such as the Nisat Bagh in Kashmir, Shalimar Bagh at Lahore, Pakistan, and the Pinjore Garden in Punjab. Okay, so these are the beautiful examples of Mughal gardens. Okay, this is the picture of Shalimar Bagh at Lahore. You can see how magnificent the Bagh was. And this is the Purana Killa in Delhi only. During the Sher Shah Suri, right, you know that Sher Shah Suri defeated Mughal Emperor Humayun in Battle of Chausa and in Battle of Bilgram in 1540, right, and established the Suri dynasty. So he was the Sher Shah. So during the reign of Sher Shah Suri, the mausoleum at Sasaram in Bihar and the Purana Killa near Delhi were built. These two monuments are considered as the architectural marvels of medieval India. Large-scale construction of buildings started with the advent of Akbar. Akbar built many forts, and most famous one was the Agra Fort. Okay, this is the picture of Agra Fort. It was built in red sandstone, and his other forts are at Lahore and Allahabad. Now, Fatehpur Sikri was a city known as City of Victory, Fatehpur Sikri. Okay, it was basically founded by Akbar only on his victory over Gujarat. So Akbar also built a palace cum fort complex at Fatehpur Sikri. This is 36 kilometers from Agra. Many buildings in Gujarati and Bengali styles are found in this complex. The most magnificent building in it is the Jama Masjid of Fatehpur Sikri. Don't get confused. Okay, Jama Masjid of Fatehpur Sikri. It was built by Akbar. Okay, but now we see Jama Masjid in Delhi, which was built by Shah Jahan. Okay, apart from Jama Masjid, the gateway to it called Buland Darwaja or the lofty gate. Okay, on Buland Darwaja there was question in 2018 prelims examination. As I told you, it was built to commemorate the Akbar's victory over Gujarat. So this is the beautiful picture of the Buland Darwaja. All right. Other important buildings at Fatehpur Sikri are Jodha Bai's palace. Jodha Bai was wife of Akbar, and Panch Mahal with the 5 stories. So this is the picture of Panch Mahal, the right side. Okay, it is Panch Mahal at Fatehpur Sikri. Please remember this. Chalo, next is during the Akbar series only the Humayun's tomb was built at Delhi. Humayun was father of Akbar. So this is a picture of Humayun's tomb. Okay, I have provided you so many pictures so that you can remember easily. Okay, and in fact sometimes UPSC asks questions about the minor details. Okay, for example in 2018 examination they asked like what white marbles were used in Buland Darwaja. Okay, so even if you remember the picture of Buland Darwaja, you can easily answer that, right? So this is why we should have a better understanding, and that is something that we can get with the help of all these beautiful pictures. So basically the design of Humayun's tombs, okay, is like Taj Mahal. This is why this is called the precursor of the Taj Mahal. Okay, it is situated in Delhi, it is located in Delhi, and it had a massive dome of marble. This is the massive dome. Akbar's tomb at Sikandra near Agra was completed by Jahangir. Okay, so Akbar's tomb is at Sikandra near Agra. The next is about the tomb of Itmadud-Dawla. So basically he was father of Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan was wife of Jahangir only, right? So Noor Jahan built the tomb of his father Itmadud-Dawla at Agra. So this is the beautiful picture of this tomb of Itmadud-Dawla. Now the question is why this is important. What is unique point about this tomb of Itmadud-Dawla? Okay, because it was first building by the Mughals, which was made of complete white marbles. Okay, this is why it is important. It was constructed wholly of white marble with floral designs made of semi-precious stones on the walls. The type of decoration was called Pitra Dura. Now remember this, we study specifically in the art and culture part, okay, about the Pitra Dura. So you should know in the context of medieval Indian history, what do you mean by Pitra Dura? So remember, Mughals introduced floral designs made of semi-precious stones on the walls. Okay, so these are the walls as you can see in the pictures, and on these walls they have made floral designs. Okay, floral designs. It's like flowers like designs. Okay, made of semi-precious stone, and this is called Pitra Dura. This method became more popular during the reign of Shah Jahan. The climax of fort building reached its climax during the reign of Shah Jahan. Okay, how? Because Shah Jahan built so many important palaces and buildings like the Taj Mahal, the Red Fort, the Moti Masjid. Okay. The Pitra Dura method was used on a large scale in the Taj Mahal also. Okay, which was built by Shah Jahan. Taj Mahal is considered a jewel of the builder's art. It contains all the architectural forms developed by the Mughals. The chief glory of the Taj is the massive dome. Massive dome. Okay, this is the dome. And the 4 slender minarets. Okay, so you can see there are 4 minarets. The decorations are kept to the minimum. Mosque building had reached its peak during the Shah Jahan's reign only. The Moti Masjid at Agra was built entirely in white marble. So this is the picture of Moti Masjid. Okay, the rightmost picture. And this is located in Agra. And in Delhi also, if you go to the Red Fort, right, then Red Fort is actually a group of multiple buildings. Okay, so there is the main gateways, then we have Diwani Am building, then we have Diwani Khas building. Okay, apart from that, we have Moti Masjid also located within the complex of the Red Fort, right? So this picture is about the Moti Masjid at Agra, which was built entirely in white marbles. Apart from this, the Jama Masjid at Delhi was built in red stone by Shah Jahan only. In fact, many features of the Mughal traditions can be seen in the Golden Temple at Amritsar. Well, this is a picture of Jama Masjid in Delhi. So this was all about the art and architecture. Now let's have a constructive analysis on paintings and music during the Mughal Empire. The foundation for the Mughal painting was laid by Humayun. Remember, on paintings they ask questions. Okay, so basically the foundation of the Mughal Empire, it was led by Humayun only when he was staying in Persia. He brought with him two painters, Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdul Samad, to India. Now you should remember the name of all these painters, all these artisans. Okay, because UPSC asks questions. Okay, they ask simply like you. Okay, Mir Sayyid and Abdul Samad were main painters during the time of Shah Jahan. So you should remember the name of the emperor also. Okay, similarly, like Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdul Samad during the time of Humayun, similarly we have Basavan, Miskina and Dasavan. Okay, they were famous painters during the reign of Akbar. Illustrations of Persian versions of Mahabharata and Ramayana were produced in the miniature form. Miniature is a kind of painting. Many other Indian fables became the miniature paintings in the art studio established by Akbar. So Akbar basically established many art studios. Historical works such as Akbarnama, which is biography of Akbar, also remain the main themes of the Mughal paintings. The most important work is Hamzanama, which consisted of 1200 paintings. Please remember, Hamzanama is an important work on painting which consisted of 1200 paintings, okay, during the time of Akbar only. Indian colors such as peacock blue, Indian red began to be used. Okay. Mughal paintings reached its climax during the reign of Jahangir. So there was contribution right from Humayun, then Akbar, but the paintings reached its climax during the reign of Jahangir only. Jahangir was very fond of paintings. Many albums containing paintings and calligraphy, the art of handwriting, were produced during the Mughal period. Later, the influence of European paintings could be seen. Okay, because by the time of Jahangir only, we saw the coming of Europeans in India, right? So basically, the painting style, the architecture style is also going to be influenced by the European style of architecture and art. So these are some of the beautiful specimens of the Mughal paintings. Okay, you can see how beautiful they are, how detailed they are. Just remember one line regarding the music part. Akbar patronized Tansin of Gwalior. Tansin, in fact, UPSC asked questions in 2019 only on Tansin. Okay, so Tansin was one of the Navratnas of Akbar. Navratnas were 9 chief ministers. Tansin composed many ragas. Jahangir and Shah Jahan were also fond of music. Yeah, language and literature. So there are different important literary sources. Okay, like Babarnama, Jahangirnama, Akbarnama, Aini Akbari, and so on. So this is what we are going to analyze. Persian language became widespread in the Mughal Empire by the time of Akbar's reign. Okay, so remember this Persian language, not Turkish, not Urdu, not Arabic. Persian language was the main language of the Mughal Empire. Aini Akbari and Akbarnama were written by Abul Fajl. Abul Fajl was one of the Navratnas, and he wrote the biographies of Akbar with the name Aini Akbari and Akbarnama. The leading poet of that period was his brother Abul Fajl. Abul Fajl was brother of Abul Fajl only. Okay, so remember Abul Fajl was a poet and among the Navratnas of Akbar. The translation of Mahabharata into the Persian language was done under his supervision, under Abul Fajl's supervision. Utbi and Naziri were two other leading Persian poets. Okay, so remember this, Abul Fajl, Utbi and Naziri were poets during the Mughal Empire. Jahangir's autobiography, that is Tujuke Jahangiri, was famous for its style. He also patronized many scholars like Gyas Beg, Naqib Khan, and Niamatullah. Okay. Finally, Shah Jahan also patronized many writers and historians like Abdul Hamid Lahori, author of Pasahnama, and Inayat Khan, who wrote Shah Jahanama. Remember these names? Okay. Abdul Hamid Lahori, because UPSC asked questions like they were contemporary of this particular king, okay, or that particular king. So you should know that. So Pasanama was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori, and Shah Jahanama was written by Inayat Khan. His son, the eldest son of Shah Jahan, was Dara Sikho. He himself translated Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads into Persian language. So Dara Sikho was one of the highest scholars of that period, and he himself translated the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. During the Mughal Empire, many regional languages such as Bengali, Oriya, Rajasthani, and Gujarati had also developed during the period. Many devotional works, including the Ramayana and Mahabharata, were translated in regional languages also, right? And the most influential Hindi poet of the period was Tulsi Das Ji, who wrote the Hindi version of Ramayana, that is Ramacharit Manas. Yeah, now in next part, we are going to cover the administrative system of the Mughal Empire. And here I would suggest you to focus on keywords. For a prelims examination, keywords are important, right? And for the mains examination, the whole structure. For the example, what was the structure of Mansabdari system? What was the structure of Jagirdari system? Okay, so let's go. Structure of administration. So the emperor of the Mughal Empire was always the central administrative authority. So it was basically a highly centralized system of administration. Further, the state had 4 main departments and the 4 main officers of the central governments. Okay, these were mainly Diwan. Number 1, Diwan. He is known as the Wazir or the chief minister, and held the primary position among them and looked after the revenue and finance. Then we have Mir Bakshi. On Mir Bakshi, we have so many questions in prelims examination. Okay. So Mir Bakshi was basically handle the military pay and accounts and related duties. He not only was the paymaster for all the officers, but also played role in recruitment of soldiers. Then we had Sadr. The Sadr was the head of religious donations and contributions. He also looked after the education and imperial arms. Wakil was occasionally a dignitary superior to the Wazir, and other ministers was also appointed called the Wakil. He acted as the deputy of the Sultanate, Nayab. And apart from these 4 important ministers, we also had Mir Saman. Mir Saman, the imperial household was held by Mir Saman. He dealt with the matters relating to maintaining of the state, karkhanas, factories, stores, order, interactions, and internal relations. Now, let's discuss about the provincial administration. So basically, the provincial administration was divided into 3 parts, and these provinces were called Suba. Okay, and the head of these Subas were called Subedar. Well, the first is Sipah Salar Nazim. He acts like the governor of the provinces. He was Sipah Salar Nazim, governor, remember this. Well known by the name Subedar, was appointed directly by the emperor. So Subedar or the Sipah Salar Nazim was the head of the Suba. Suba is nothing but province, name of province. Next we had Bakshi. Remember this is Bakshi. The Bakshi or the paymaster was the next provincial authority having duties of military establishment. So Bakshi was the same thing like Mir Bakshi. Mir Bakshi was in the central administration and Bakshi was in the provincial administration, having the same kind of authority in provinces. Okay. Regarding, like he was the PM master, the next provincial authority was Bakshi after the Sipa slaughter, and he was having duties of the military establishment, salaries of mansabdars, and occasional duties like news writing for the provinces. Then districts were used to be called as Sarkar. Okay. And here comes the third important factor, the Faujdar. Sarkar was equivalent to district. It was headed by Faujdar or Sikhdar. Remember this, Faujdar or Sikhdar was the head of district, and districts were known as Sarkar only. So head of Suba or province was Subedar. Head of Sarkar or district was Faujdar. Apart from Faujdar or Sikhdar, other officers were Amal Gujars and Kotwal. Yeah, let's discuss about the village administration. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. So Sikhdar, the administrative unit next to Sarkar was Pargana, right? So first it was province or Suba. Then we had Sarkar or districts, and further these districts or Sarkar were divided into Parganas, and the head of Pargana was Sikhdar, who was in charge of law and order. Lambardar, village affairs were looked after by the panchayat only, and Lambardar was the head of the panchayat. The head of the village panchayat was Lambardar. Okay. So there are so many dars. Okay. For example, Mansabdar, Iktedars, Sikhdar, Lambardar, Faujdar. All these dars are important. Okay. If you remember the examination of 2019, that year 10 questions were asked from the medieval history part. Okay. And they asked questions on the basic difference between Jamidars and Jagirdars. And people were very much confused. You were not able to solve that question. So this is why you should have a better clarity on all the keywords. Okay. And this is why reminding you again and again, for the medieval history part, please focus on the keywords. Okay. Now let's discuss about the Mansabdari system. Akbar was the architect of the Mansabdari system, an institution of political and economic significance that played a critical role in the consolidation and disintegration of the Mughal Empire. So who was Mansabdar? Basically, Mansabdars were officers in Mughal administrations. Those nobles who joined Mughal service were enrolled as Mansabdars. The term Mansabdar refers to an individual who holds a Mansab. Mansab means basically a rank holder. The Mansabdars were appointed to all civil and military posts. Remember this, all civil and military posts, not only military, not only civil. Okay. They were liable to be transferred from one branch of the administration, that is civil, to another, that is military or something like that. Now let's understand the keywords like Zat, Sawar and Mansab. The term Mansab denotes the rank or the position of a Mughal military officers. The Jat fixed the rank in the army. Okay. So it's like a rank. The salary of a Mansabdar was based on his Jat. Okay, his rank. The Sawar referred to the cavalrymen Mansabdar had to maintain. So there should be some number of armies, okay, cavalrymen that a Mansabdar had to maintain for the king. So this was Sawar. Okay. So it was like 500 Sawars or 100 Sawars or 50 Sawars based on their different Jat or the rank in the army. So how were Mansabdars recruited? A person wishing to join the royal service had to petition through a noble who presented a tajweez to the emperor. Higher mansabs were given to princes and Rajput rulers who accepted the suzerainty of the emperor. Because the Rajputs were, they are well known for their bravery. Ranking in the Mansabdari system. It had 3 scale gradation. Mansabdar, he was having 500 Zat or rank in the army or maybe below. And Amir, usually between 250 Zat to 500 Zat. And Amir Umda, it has to maintain 2500 Zat and above. Salary of the Mansabdar was fixed on a month scale system. It was not hereditary system. Okay, it was not like transference of power from father to son. Okay, it was based on the eligibility of that particular Mansabdar. They were paid through revenue assignments, Jagir. Okay, so please understand, Mansabdars were not getting salary in the form of cash. Basically, they were paid through revenue assignments called Jagir. And here comes the Jagirdari system. So what is Jagir system? Jagir or Tuyul was a unit of land whose revenues were assigned to a Mansabdar in lieu of his salary. The Jagirs assigned in lieu of salary were known as Tankwa Jagirs. Tankwa Jagirs. The meaning of Tankwa is salary, salary-based Jagirs. Okay. Now, Khalisa and Jagir. The land revenue of Khalisa was directly for the royal treasury. Khalisa was a kind of land, okay, and it was directly under the control of the central government or the central emperor. And Jagirs were allocated to the Jagirdars according to their rank. Mansabdars receiving cash payment were known as Nakdi. Nakdi. So how Mansabdar and Jagir systems are related? A Mansabdar could enjoy the revenues of the Jagir only as long as he held the Mansab or official rank and rendered services to the state. A Mansabdar did not confer any hereditary rights to that Jagir on. Okay, so Jagir was basically a piece of land. Okay, so if you can only enjoy the rights on the Jagir, okay, as long as you are having the post of that Mansab or the official rank. Okay, so it was not a kind of hereditary system that this land is under you, even if you are not Mansabdar. Okay. Now, let's understand the land revenue sources. So, basically the land revenue sources, the system was known as the Hasala system. Okay, before that, let me tell you, there were different names for different kinds of land. It was Polaj, Chachar, Parti, and Banjar. So Polaj was a kind of land continuously cultivated and very fertile. Chachar, it was a kind of land, okay, which was left fallow for 3 or 4 years. Parti was left for 1 or 2 years to recover the productivity. And Banjar means it was highly infertile. So it was basically uncultivated for 5 to 6 years. Okay. Let's understand first the Zapti or Bandobast system. Todarmal, he was one of the Nauratnas of Akbar. So Raja Todarmal framed a regulation or standard system of revenue administration known as Zapti system. Under this system, lands were accurately surveyed and registered. Now, let's understand the Hasala system of land revenue. On the basis of the above Zapti system, fresh reforms were undertaken by Todarmal. These reforms, collectively known as Aine Hasala, were completed in 1580 during the time of Akbar only. And under this system, land was classified into 4 categories, that is Polaj, Chachar, Parti, and Banjar, that we just discussed. The 3 main principal revenue system in the Mughal Empire. So let's understand the 3 main principal revenue system: Galla Bucks or the crop division, Concute method, and the nasak or estimate method. The first was Galla bucks or beta or crop division. Under the Galla buck system, a share of each crop was taken by the state. And this system prevailed in Lower Sindh, a part of Kabul and Kashmir. Second was conquest method, in which cultivator and official arrived at a general estimate of produce of whole area, the basis of sample survey by the mutual agreement. So there is going to be a mutual agreement between the officers of the Mughal Empire and the cultivators. And the estimate method or the Nasak method. So past assessment determined the present, and Todermal collected the accounts of the Kanungos and in some places ascertained their accuracy by the local inquiries. So you don't have to remember exactly the minute details, but simply know yeah, Gallabak system, conquest method, and Nasak or estimate methods. All these were system of revenue collection during the Mughal Empire. Is that clear? Now, let's understand the military administrations. Mansabdars that we discussed recently, Mansabdars played a vital role in military. Soldiers, horsemen, horses, and elephants has to be supplied and maintained by the Mansabdars. The number that a Mansabdar was expected to provide was specific in his warrant of selection or were indicated by the rank he held. So this was the basic composition of the Mughal emperor, the cavalry, infantry. You don't need to remember those technicalities, okay, but simply as the for the any strong empire or kingdom, it is important to maintain all kinds of army, the cavalries, okay, the infantries, yeah. Coming to the next part, artillery also, war elephants and navy. Mughals are also known for their navy. But in comparison to Europeans, Mughals had a weak naval base. Okay, why? Because Europeans were very advanced, right? Due to technical advancement, due to Renaissance kind of things. Okay, they had high level of technology in comparison to Mughals. So let's conclude the nature of Mughal army. The organization of the army was loose, and scantiness of the officers reduced the efficiency of the army. The discipline was poor, particularly in lower ranks, and the Mughal army of a very burdensome, sluggish group due to huge camp followers and occasionally family members. So this was shortcomings of the army. Now, regarding the Mughal architecture part, we have already discussed in detail. Okay, but here simply I would remind you again 4 to 5 important points that you can mention in answer writing of the mains examination. Okay, number 1, the Mughals constructed excellent forts, mosques, mausoleums, gardens, and cities. We have all the examples. Okay, the Mughal architecture was an amalgamation of Persian, Turkish, and Timurid, Iranians, and Central Asian, and even the Indian Hindu style of architecture. It was a kind of amalgamation or the blend of multiple cultures. Mughal architecture first developed and flourished during the reign of Akbar. In this period, there was extensive use of red sandstone as building material. So red sand was mainly used during the time of Akbar, and white marbles were mainly used during the time of Shah Jahan. Mughal architecture reached its peak during the rule of Shah Jahan. We have seen that the Taj Mahal, the Shah Jahanabad, a new city, right? Moti Masjid, Jama Masjid, all these were built by Shah Jahan only. And the decline of Mughal architecture began during the rule of Aurangzeb, okay, and after his death also. So these are the important buildings created during the Mughal Empire that we discussed, like Taj Mahal, which was basically built between 1632 to 1653, Shalimar Gardens in Lahore, In fact, this is a World Heritage Site. Basahi Mosque, Red Fort, Jama Masjid of Delhi, and Humayun's Tomb of Delhi again. So these were all about the art and architecture, military, central administration, as well as provincial administration, and the land revenue system during the Mughal Empire. Well, this was all about the Mughal Empire. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you so much. God bless.